Well, good afternoon. Welcome to another installment of the Mililani Minute videos. As I've been going through these videos, I started the last one going through just a short proverb. And I want to continue that, and I want to go through a different proverb today. And so I want to jump straight into that. In Proverbs chapter 12, there's plenty in here that's wonderful for us to really wrestle with and think through. But I want to highlight just a couple. As you're going through chapter 12, if you follow down to verse 23, it says, "A prudent man conceals knowledge. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims folly." It says, "The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor." Now, the interesting thing we need to understand about the book of Proverbs is that each of these proverbs were collected, they were compiled, and they were put together for the purpose of edifying and encouraging and equipping the believers with wisdom. And there's great wisdom here, as it says, "The prudent man conceals knowledge." Now, I don't know about you, but when I first read that statement, my mind immediately goes to, but if they're smart, why wouldn't they tell everybody? Why wouldn't they let people know? Why do they conceal knowledge? Why does the prudent man withhold that? But then look at what it says right after that. So we're going to come back to that, but look at what it says right after that. "The heart of fools proclaims folly." He's shouting it out. He's letting everyone know. You know, my grandfather, who I often talk about, he used to have this statement. And it's not just only him that would say this, but he was my favorite person that would say it. He would say, "It's better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt." It's better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. So the heart of the fool proclaims his folly. And what does that mean? Well, his heart is, all of our hearts are deceitfully wicked. Jeremiah tells us our hearts are deceitfully wicked. Who can know it? Well, we do know that they're deceitful. We don't know exactly how deceitful they truly are, because it'll never cease to surprise us when we recognize the depravity of our own hearts. But that being said, the foolishness in our hearts, if we're not careful, we won't hide that for very long. So let me give you a couple of reasons why a prudent man is willing to conceal that knowledge. One, it's a humility. It's an aspect of humility. If you are smart, you don't have to go around telling everybody how smart you are. They'll see that in the way that you carry yourself, the way you conduct yourself. And that really plays itself out in a lot of different ways. You don't have to tell people how smart you are when you're truly smart. You don't have to tell people how honest you are when you're truly honest. You don't have to tell people how, you can look at any number of different things, but one of the things you always hear people talk about how punctual they are. Well, you shouldn't have to tell people how punctual you are. They should see that when you start showing up to things on time, right? So the prudent man, the prudent man, he's going to keep his cards close to his chest. He's not going to shout out from the rooftops. And normally we see those people who we call them normally men of few words. They're people who, they may not say a lot, but when they do speak, it's profound. Profound statements are what they produce. And so a prudent man doesn't need to shout himself out there. He doesn't need to project himself or proclaim just how awesome he is to everyone. But instead, he's going to do what needs to be done. He's going to do it well. He's going to withhold the information that he needs until it's time to use it. He's not going to just put all of these things out there like a foolish person does. A foolish person just regurgitates everything that they know, whether it's true or false. A fool doesn't know when to use their knowledge. So think of it as another aspect of withholding this knowledge or concealing this knowledge is kind of like having your own proverbial toolbox that I'm not going to get this tool out until it's time to use it. I don't want to clutter my workspace, so I'm not going to get this tool out until it's time. There's certain things that we know that it's not prudent for us to share until later. Paul did this. Paul was a Roman citizen, and he allowed the guards in Rome to beat him. And then it wasn't until after that he was like, oh, by the way, I'm a Roman citizen. There's times that withholding certain levels of information can be helpful. The wise man is not doing this to deceive or to manipulate others, and that is also very important for us to understand. So as we look through these Proverbs, we need to understand what it means to be wise. A wise person doesn't shout everything they know. It doesn't empty their head of all the knowledge that they have, but instead they know when to use that knowledge. So I don't know where you stand and where you are, but just remember that statement that my grandfather made and rationalize that with what you hear in Scripture. It is better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and have a great day.